Hello there. So besides the fact that sneaking in power armor looks absolutely ridiculous, what are we doing today? Well, after the nuka launch of it, I wanted to try out a couple of other two-shot variants, and I settled on one that you don't see too often, so let's get into that. And also, I'll have a question for you later on. So, the two-shot missile launcher with the quad barrel and the nifty little targeting computer, which gives a very Fallout notification sound. Not something I see a lot of people use, and not something I myself use, but I wanted to try something different and actually having a lot of fun with it, specifically that targeting computer. But ultimately, how good is it? Well, the two-shot is exactly what you want, very similar to the AGL. Two-shot is also on your explosive weapons, so your AGLs, your missile launchers, your Fat Mans, two-shot is the go. But we also have the quad barrel here and a faster fire rate, and on something like the level 100 super mutants, we are one-shotting them as a baseline, so that is really solid. Of course, indoors with something like Grenadier on, just be careful because you can get yourself killed pretty quick, but outside, of course, you have more room to maneuver. But like other explosives, you'll often get tags on multiple enemies or outright kill multiple enemies when they're close together with the one shot, due to the explosion. So it can be quite economical from that perspective. Using fireproof will also help keep you alive, by the way. It will negate a lot of the damage when you're too close, so highly recommend fireproof, especially if you're indoors. But yeah, as the mod says, with the targeting computer, fire and forget. Basically, the tracking is pretty decent. If the target is moving super fast and at a drastic angle, then probably will miss, but again, the explosion is large, so still get some damage off in a lot of cases. And after using it for a while and checking out the footage, sometimes it does actually drastically track on those faster moving targets. So the targeting computer really doing its job, even against like the mutant hounds that sort of just run off into the distance at random. And yeah, let's face it, most Fallout enemies aren't moving very drastically or in very smart patterns, so it does just fine. Against your bigger targets, it's nice having the quad barrel on and also really good damage there, so can keep yourself at quite a distance also due to that targeting computer. But the behemoths, the death claws, the missile launcher, dealing with them very nicely. Now we sort of get into the part where I have that question for you. So it's always funny seeing how it goes into a, damned if you do or damned if you don't situation. People hate legacies getting removed, so people find something else to complain about. And well, a lot are really annoyed at the nuka launcher at the moment, and two-shot explosives in general. So that seems to be the next target of the mob. So out of these options, which is your most hated weapon to see at stuff like events? So first up, we have the two-shot AGL or the nuka launcher. Explosions are pretty decent size, faster fire rate, so letting off a lot of rockets or grenades at once. Next up, we have the two-shot missile launcher, which of course we've been viewing this whole video, so we'll move on to the next one, which is the Hellstorm missile launcher, specifically the napalm mod version. So quite the flame effects going on there, and then ultimately probably the one that will win. But hey, you gotta give options. We have the two-shot MRIV Fat Man with the built-in high-pitched sound, so you know exactly what's about to unfold. So out of those, which is your most hated one to see at events? Or is it something like, do you hate the orbital strike users that call down a million rockets from the heavens? Let me know in the comments. And just quickly taking a look at the build I was using here, most important of course is the demo expert, Grenadier and stabilize. The rest up to you really, rock what you want. Bloody mess, tenderizer, nerd rage, there's tons of additional damage options out there to really ramp things up. And hey, if you made it this far, then do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Stick around for more Fallout content. As always, massive thank you to the channel members for their support. But for now, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.